When your cat wakes you up at night, do you actually know what they are trying to say? You probably think it is just because they are hungry or bored or being annoying. But behind that quiet paw on your face, that soft meow in the dark, there is something deeper that most people miss. It is one of the most emotionally loaded things your cat can do. And if you ignore it or respond the wrong way, which most owners do, you might be missing messages they have been trying to send for years. Let us start with what that midnight wake-up really means. Most people think it is about food. A full bowl equals a quiet night, right? But here is what is actually happening. If it were just hunger, your cat would eat and leave. But they do not. They linger. They sit near your face. They watch you. That behavior is not about survival. It is about connection. Your cat is choosing a moment when you are most still, most unguarded, and they are reaching out. Think about that for a second. In the wild nighttime is when cats are most alert. It is when they are wired to hunt, to scan, to stay aware. And yet instead of doing that alone, your cat comes to you. That means they do not just see you as someone who feeds them. They see you as part of their safe space. And by the way, if your cat ever gently taps your face or stares directly into your eyes in the dark, do not brush it off. We will get to what that really means at the end, and it is something most owners wish they had understood sooner. Most people assume cats are just nocturnal. But here is what is actually happening. Cats are not truly nocturnal. They are crepuscular. That means they are naturally active at dawn. And a 2019 study from the University of Lincoln on feline behavior found that domestic cats adjust their activity patterns based on their human routine more than previously believed. And that changes everything. Your cat is trying to align their world with yours. So when they wake you at night, it is often because their internal clock is trying to meet yours halfway, but it does not fully match emotionally. This means your cat is not living independently of you. They are adapting to you. Think about that for a second. That midnight interaction. It is not random. It is a misaligned attempt at togetherness, and here is where it gets even more powerful. Instead of ignoring you during their active hours, your cat is choosing to include you, even if it means waking you up. Most people think it is just affection, but here is what is actually happening. Your cat has scent glands around their face, paws and body when they touch you, especially repeatedly. They are leaving behind pheromones, invisible markers that say one thing: you belong to me, but not in a controlling way, in a bonding way. Studies on domestic cats reveal that scent exchange is one of the primary ways cats define family. It is how they recognize safety, belonging, and emotional territory. So when your cat wakes you up and rubs against you in the dark, they are not just asking for attention. They are reinforcing your bond. They are making sure that even in the quietest, most vulnerable time of night, you still smell like them. Think about that for a second. To your cat, you are not just a person in the house. You are part of their identity. And they are making sure that connection stays intact. And hey, if this makes sense to you, hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more cat lovers who actually want to understand what their cat is really saying. Most people think it is just learned behavior, but here is what is actually happening. This goes back to kittenhood. In the wild, kittens wake their mother during the night for warmth, feeding, and reassurance. But they do not do it aggressively. They do it carefully because their survival depends on her staying calm and present. That instinct does not disappear. It evolves. Behavioral scientists have observed that adult cats often transfer maternal bonding behaviors onto their human caregivers. So when your cat wakes you at night, they are not just interrupting your sleep. They are reaching for the same kind of security they once depended on to survive. Think about that for a second. In their mind, you are not just a companion. You are a source of safety. A constant in a world that to them is still unpredictable. And what makes this even more meaningful is they trust you enough to wake you. Most people think it is random. But here is what is actually happening. Cats are highly selective with their emotional behaviors. They do not form the same bond With everyone, research in animal cognition shows that cats develop attachment styles similar to human infants, but only with specific individuals. So when your cat chooses you, when they come to you in the middle of the night, when they disturb your sleep instead of someone else's, that is not coincidence. That is selection. Think about that for a second. Out of everyone in their world, you are the one they feel safest. Interrupting, you are the one they trust will respond. And here is where it gets even deeper. Your cat is not just choosing you during the day when everything feels easy. They are choosing you in the quiet, vulnerable hours of the night. It is easy to think they are being demanding, but here is what is actually happening. Your cat is putting themselves in a vulnerable position. In the wild, approaching another being during rest is risky. It exposes them. It removes their advantage. And yet your cat walks right up to you while you are lying still, while they cannot predict how you will react. That is not control. That is trust. Remember earlier when I said, if your cat stares into your eyes or gently taps your face, do not ignore it. This is what I was talking about. That moment when your cat is close enough to wake you, close enough to study your reaction. They are not testing you. They are checking if you are still there. Think about that for a second. They are seeking reassurance, not food, not entertainment. Reassurance. And what this reveals is something most owners never realize. Your presence matters to your cat more than your actions. Most people feel relieved when it stops. But here is what is actually happening. A sudden change in this behavior can signal emotional or physical shifts. Behavioral studies show that changes in nighttime interaction patterns can be linked to stress, illness, or weakened attachment signals, because cats do not just stop habits without a reason. Think about that for a second. If your cat no longer seeks you out in the night, it might mean they are no longer feeling the same sense of comfort, or something is wrong. This is where most owners get it wrong. They celebrate the silence without asking why it changed. So if that behavior disappears, do not ignore it. Observe, reconnect. Make sure your cat still feels safe enough to come to you, because that midnight interruption, it was never random. So when your cat wakes you up at night, do you actually know what they are trying to say? It is not just hunger. It is not just boredom. It is not just a bad habit. It is connection. It is trust. It is a quiet, instinctive way of saying, you matter to me even now. That is not annoying. That is not meaningless. That is your cat choosing you in the most vulnerable moment of their natural cycle. And that soft paw, that gentle wake-up, it was never small to them, and it should not be small to you either.